All right, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
I think we're good to go now.
Okay. We'll see how it goes. Because I actually first just wanted to have a chat with you in relation to, um, your that that video that you shared of, um, somebody's solved it. That's not you. That was somebody else's video. Is that correct?
You got to remind me which one you're talking about.
Okay. So it was a black guy that said he's a
Okay, okay, yeah. We're all working together. That is my friend Ty.
Ty. Okay.
Y- Yeah,
Okay. So Ty has done the video and he said, look, we've solved all of these different issues. There's a couple of conclusions he reached, which was incorrect. I totally agree with the rough position of the shooter. Um, there's just one thing that I'm still trying to confirm. If you allow me to share screen, let me see if I can share screen. Share screen. I'll
sure.
quickly run you through it because what I was, we'll see how this video go and if it is, usable to put out or not. Um, but if need to, we can do it again if you want to, and I can actually prepare properly with a presentation to lay it all out properly. But I just wanted to people. So I'm working on getting. First of all, it seems that there's a lot of misunderstandings around the physics involved, and it's nobody's fault because not everybody has done high levels of physics at university level or whatever. So I'm not expecting people to understand it, but I really want to clarify a number of things which will help people to actually get a better understanding of which of these theories are plausible and which are not, so that we can
Gotcha.
dismiss the ones that is just simply doesn't align with real world physics, and then focus on the ones that does allow or align. And the key thing is the shooter from the Losi building is complete nonsense.
Absolutely, 100%.
Complete nonsense. So what I'm going to do is if I share my screen, I'll quickly show you a couple of clips I took from one of the videos, and you can verify this yourself. Um, so, because if we do another video, I would really like it if Ty could be on the video as well. In the presentation, or so I can help him just understand certain things a little bit better. But I'm going to share my screen. Um,
Let me
okay.
text him. I'll see if he can join us. He may or may
Yeah,
not. He may be busy, but I'll text him real quick, see if he wants to hop on with us.
yeah. If he can do that, that would be amazing. Because I think he put out that video is very good. His analysis very good. There's a couple of things that he's picked on which is spot on, but there's a couple of small errors, and people are going to pull him apart on those small errors because generally people bloody will focus on the small stuff and then throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Give me a second. You can keep doing what you're doing. I'm texting him
Okay,
real quick.
no worries. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Give me 1 second. I'll turn it on for you. I have to approve it on my end. Here it is. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm going to just jump here to my folder where I have all of my bits and pieces. And first of all, this is crucial evidence that everybody is missing. And that is the fact that Charlie was shot in the right ear. And we can see.
Hold on. I can't see what you're looking at because I'm texting. Give me 1 second.
Okay, yeah, no worries. I'm just getting it all up. So
Okay.
don't.
Okay. All right. I just text him. I'm gonna text Steve as well. He's the other guy that was on the video with us as well.
Okay. Yep.
He's CIA. He's the guy that used to be in the CIA.
Okay. Yep. No worries. Yeah. So so myself, Matt, and the other gentleman, which I cannot disclose his identity. The other guy he works on military radar systems, design military radar systems. So we've got a pretty competent little team. So just tell me when you're ready.
All right, we can go. I just text both of them. I sent them the link. I don't know if they'll show up or not. If they do, that I'll bring them on. They're more than happy to
Okay,
join
then
us.
what we can do
In
is
the meantime, it'll just be us.
Okay, no worries. So what I'll do is okay, you can see the little photo here of Charlie?
Yep.
Okay, so I want you to focus. Can you see my mouse cursor?
Yeah. If there's any way you can blow that up, that would be great. If not, it is okay. Cool.
There we go. It's very pixelated.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I want you to pay attention to this area here, right at his ear, and you'll see that if I go in even further, where the little hand is, you can see the color there, and then you see the faint line of his hair at the back. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. Because what I can do is I can take a screenshot and draw on the screen, but we can do that when we present properly. Okay, so these are clips that I took off the video in succession of one another. So there's the next clip. Okay, you see that area, that red area there, has increased at the ear. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so now if we jump to the next one, you can see it's now even darker. It's now even darker right on the top there. You see that?
I don't see a difference between the last one and this one, but I do see something there, yes.
See that? It's slightly darker.
I don't see a difference personally.
Hang on, let me jump back. Okay, you see that? There's nothing there.
Yeah, I saw the difference between that and that, so there is something there. I just don't see where you're saying it's getting darker. I don't see it getting darker, but I do see something there.
Okay, I'm getting there. Okay, so now it's darker. Now it's even more darker. You see how it's now bigger? And there it spills. You see that big dark line there? So if I zoom in, you see that?
Yep.
That, my friend, is blood. Because if you do a color analysis of that color and the color of the blood coming out of his neck, they match. That is definitely blood. And I'll play the video for you.
I have I think I have a better video of that, which we can look at it.
Oh yeah, if you can bring that up, I'll stop sharing and then you bring that up. And
yeah, let me see if I can find it real quick, because I do remember Candace actually showed on her give me a second. She showed on her channel a very, very high quality version of that, which you can actually see the necklace and everything.
Yeah.
And I personally did not see any blood in that one. So let me pull that one up and see if we can see what you're talking about in that one.
Yeah, it has to be the right angle, because if it's the one that is taken from Charlie's 3 o'clock, you won't see it. Okay, because he's tilted away. You need to have the one that is, if the way he faces is 12 o'clock, then we need a camera angle from roughly between his 1 and 2 o'clock. That's the one we want.
Gotcha.
Because there's no other one that you can see.
Let's see, 20's final hours. I'm trying to remember which one this was here. Lone shooter narrative, was it this one?
And you see it for just a split second before he gets pushed over by his security detail.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I know I don't remember which live stream she shared it in, so I'm going through some of these to see if I can find it.
Okay, because I do have a video that, I mean, where I pulled those images from. But it's the one that was taken way back. So that's why it's so grainy. And it's because of the angle as well that you can see it. But there are definitely two videos from two different people that shows it. So it's not just one video, it's two videos that I have. Let me quickly see what video.
Gotcha.
All right, you guys, happy to.
Where's it at? Where's it at? This one.
Let's see if I can bring up this one. So
Counting gang violence. Great.
okay, so just quickly, so the way I came to the conclusion because I first did a wound vector analysis, okay, because that wound was clearly an exit wound, not an entry wound. Anybody who says that's an entry wound have no idea if they've never seen fucking somebody shot before, okay?
No, it's definitely an exit wound.
Yeah. So what I then said is well, all of the images I looked at, I could not see an entrance wound in his hairline or anywhere else. And then I went, what if he was shot in the ear? So then I started looking for evidence to see if it was the ear. And you will only find it if you know what to look for. So the camera that Candace says that the footage she saw from behind him, the camera that was up at his 6 o'clock, that possibly would not have actually shown it because his head is tilted forward. But I have a video here.
It's going to be
Well, I'm gonna. The one she has shows exactly what we need to see. That's why I'm trying to find it here.
Yeah, I've got this video that I was talking about, where I can flip between them on the two clips, on the two frames.
All right, just give me a second. So it's important that I find this because this is the best footage I've seen of it so far.
Okay, excellent. Well, if you've got that, you can send it to me. But okay, you don't have the actual video. You just have it pulled from the net. But that doesn't matter if it loses a little bit of.
Where is it? Damn it, I know I saw it on one of these live streams of hers. Let me check X real quick, because I know somebody posted it. Somebody had to have posted it.
So, Colin, what's your background?
A little bit of everything, man, honestly. I used to do top secret DoD security clearance. I was armed security for the base. Pretty much I worked like an MP on the military base where I am.
Okay.
And then from that, I kind of got into my own business doing advertising. So I've kind of been all over the place, honestly, doing a little bit of everything.
I think most of us been around a bit.
Exactly. Okay, I think. Well, here's one. I don't know if this is.
Okay, well, let's have a look and see.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, but that okay. Keep going on that one.
Watch this.
Yeah, but I think they cut before the. It cuts
See,
before...
no, there it is, right there. You see the necklace fly?
Yeah, no, I see the necklace.
And I do see what you're talking about the blood in the ear.
Yeah.
You actually can see right there.
You can see it right there, but it's not conclusive. So you see, the problem is this video has been cut before you can actually see it. All the videos are cut before you can see it.
And I don't
See-
know why, because this this side won't really show anything other than what we want to see there.
Yeah, so that is clearly, so at this point he's already been shot because there's a inertial response. Okay, so let me show you the video I've got.
Here's another one.
No, but that's keep going. Yeah, but you see, they all stop it before you can see it.
Yeah,
They
let
all
me
stop it
let
before you
me.
can see it. I'll show you my video. Hang on, I'll show you my video. So I'm
I
going to
have
share
a
again.
yeah. You can show me yours, but I also have a crystal clear one. I'll let you show yours, and then while I'm looking
Yeah.
for mine.
The problem is the most of them are cut just before it freaking happens. So
Well,
okay,
I didn't cut mine. The one I have is completely from the beginning. I recorded of that actual day when it happened.
oh, okay, cool.
But go ahead. I'll let you share what you want to share here.
Okay, so I've got that. If you can see,
Ooh,
okay. So here's
hold on. I
here's
gotta
the,
take mine down to share yours.
okay.
What's going on here? Well, it's not letting me share. Before presenting a screen, remove other media. Didn't I do that? I already did, didn't I? Oh, no, there we go. All right, there we go.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so this is how we. Okay, so that's where he sits. Bang. Okay, so he starts toppling over. Right there. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Bang. Those two, I'll do a screenshot of that, and then I'll share that.
Do that again. I just did put mine on full screen so I can see it a little bit clearer.
Okay, so watch there.
Okay, I can see the hairline, and the hairline.
No, there's the hairline. You can just vaguely see a thin hairline there. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now look at the next one. Bang. It's thick. That's not the
I don't know
hairline.
if that's blood, honestly.
Now you can do a color analysis on it. You can do a color analysis.
I mean,
did a color.
it absolutely it could be. I mean, you're right because there is definitely something there. I'm not. I wish we had more definitive proof. You know.
Okay, so here we look. Okay, you see that? So let me take a screenshot of that because I can't zoom any further. Okay, so I'll take a screenshot of that, and then I'll just do this. Let's just dump it here because I can put it side by side. Okay, so we'll put it side by side. Different page layouts. Let's do that. Landscape. Okay. So Control B. Okay, so we've got that one. And then we'll do the next one.
This is the one I got here.
Okay, just let me grab these two images and put them side by side.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, I don't think that is the right one because this one I just saw it stopped. Is it stopped or no? Oh no, it isn't stopped. This is the one. Okay, this is the full one.
Okay, so if you look at my screen, okay, I've got the two images side by side.
Gotcha.
See, there's the hairline. Let's draw a circle around it. Where's my wiggly thing? Okay, so we're looking at that there. So let me just take that off. Full.
I definitely see the difference there. There's definitely. I think that is blood. I think you're right.
It is definitely. I did a color analysis on it. It's definitely blood, and that is proof that the shot came from the right.
Can you show the color? Can you show me the result? Can you do the color analysis live with me, or can you show it?
Yeah,
Your
I
result.
can do it. Yeah, I can do it live. What I'll do is I'll take a screenshot of this, and then I'll upload it into Grok Live and ask Grok to do a color analysis between. So what we're going to do is I'll put an arrow. Let me put an arrow so I can help Grok. Let's just delete. We'll do this. We'll just do an arrow this way. So we'll color code the arrows as well. So we'll do that as a black. We'll do that as a green arrow, and we'll make that a lot thicker. We'll make the arrow itself bigger. Okay, so it's more pronounced. So the green arrow, we'll see here, and then we'll use a purple arrow or something. So we'll make that a blue arrow. Okay, and then we'll do another arrow here, which is the exit wound. Do another arrow here. Control C. Control V. Okay. So we'll point to that, and we'll make that one a yellow arrow. Make it a bit darker. Okay, yellow arrow. So let me group all of this. No, let's group that first. We'll group that, and then we'll go Control C, get rid of this guy here, delete, and Control V, and we'll move that one, and we'll position it at the same place. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so now let me do this screenshot here. Okay, so we're gonna grab it like that. Okay, so now we'll jump to Grok, and then we'll just drop it in.
Cool. So, yeah, because the more proof we can show people, the easier it'll be to get them to come off of their wrong position and to go.
That's correct.
To see what we say.
So the following two photos are let's make it were taken from a video of a person that was shot. Please do not search the internet or analyze these images based on any speculation as to the victim. Okay, I am trying to solve a crime and would like you to please do a color analysis of the two sequential images. Fix that spelling mistake there. Okay. The yellow arrow points to blood exiting a wound, a wound in the neck. Please check the region pointed out by the green and blue arrows and give me your assessment, including fix that up, assessment including a color comparison, and if the area of the ear has a red hue. Okay, so we'll do that. So you can see that I didn't lead. Do you agree that I didn't lead Grok at all?
Yeah, I completely agree. It looks good to me.
I'm not. Okay, so let's add the images. There we go. Okay.
Grok is a very useful tool, but people, you have to lead it right, and you also can't rely blindly on it. Which people.
No,
I get so aggravated at people in my comments. They're like, "Well, Grok says it's wrong, so you're wrong." I'm like, "No, Grok doesn't get everything right."
No, but in something like this, it can do a color analysis. It's just doing a color analysis.
Oh, okay? Absolutely. Like I said, it's a very useful tool if you know how to prompt it correctly.
That's correct. Okay, so we'll let it finish and then we'll read it. Okay, there it's finished. Okay. The two low-resolution images appear to capture a brief temporal sequence, likely milliseconds to seconds apart based on postural continuity, showing the right lateral aspect of a human head and neck with annotated regions of interest. Yellow arrowed region, neck wound. This area displays a small dark red to crimson spot consistent with fresh arterial or venous blood egress from a puncture wound. Okay, approximately 1 to 2 centimeters inferior to the mandible. The hue is vivid scarlet. Okay, so 150 to 200 red, 0 to 50 green blue, with minimal surrounding eschimosis. I have no idea what that word means, or tissue distortion visible in both frames, suggesting acute onset without significant prior hemorrhage. Okay, so the green arrow region, superior aspect of red circled area, likely mastoid or posterior auricle. In the left image, the zone shows a neutral skin tone, pale beige, RGB, 200 to 220, red, green, 180 to 200 blue, with no discernible red hue or anomaly beyond baseline vascularity. In the right image, a subtle darkening emerges, shifts to brownish red, RGB approximately 150 to 180 red, 100 to 130 blue, potentially indicating early shadowing, minor confusion, or incipital blood pooling through resolution limits, preclude definition, identification, or erythema. Blue arrowed region, okay? The left image reveals a slightly shadowed but neutral flesh tone, similar to the green region, RGB approximate 190 to 210 across channels, without red tinting. The right image exhibits a faint reddish overlay, 180 to 200 red dominant, 140 to 160 green-blue, which could represent localized hyperemia, blood splatter, or artifactual pixelation from motion blur compression. Overall, the ear area compassing both blah, 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 does not exhibit a prominent red hue in either frame. Any subtle shifts or marginal color comparison across frames indicates minimal global shifts. No broad information follow, with the neck blood remaining consistently redder than the ear regions. The observations are consistent with images blurriness. Okay, so now I can ask it. So it's done the color analysis. In your opinion, could that indicate blood spilling from the ear canal? Okay. We'll wait for it to do its thing.
Yep.
Okay. So based on the color analysis on the annotated regions to the posterior article, an external auditory subtle shift toward reddish hue in the second frame manifesting as marginal increase in red channel dominance could plausibly indicate early blood spillover from the ear canal. This is consistent with vascular disruption in the middle and inner ear structure following a penetrating injury where hemorrhage might initially pool internally before externalizing, as I can't pronounce that word. However, the low image resolution, potential motion blur, and lightning artifacts introduce uncertainty, as the observed tint could alternatively stem from localized inflammation or digital compression noise rather than frank bleeding. High resolution images, forensic enhancement would be required to confirm. Okay, so what we need is a high resolution image of that angle. But what I can say is if we look at the actual video, so I'm now going to play the video.
Well, Grok agrees with you. I mean, Grok, that's what Grok is saying there. It's saying it needs to be definitive. It needs a higher resolution angle, but it actually is saying that that's possibly blood. So, I mean,
that's
we
correct.
just proved it.
Yeah, so what you can see there is you can see it go and then bang, it spills. So
Exactly.
So you can see it welling up from the ear canal, because that's what it said. It would first well up in the ear cavity, and you can see there's the welling.
Correct.
Right there. There's the welling of it, and then it's, again, surface tension will hold it until it flows. And unfortunately, on the next image, it's still there. You should not be able to see his hairline anymore. If we go back, there's the hairline. Here he goes even further back, so the hairline should be completely gone. Bang.
Yep.
Now he's out of view. So
let me pull up my version, see if it's any clearer, because I have a that I took on that actual day. I screen grabbed this right on the actual day.
Okay, cool. So I've stopped sharing.
All right. The only thing that sucks is I don't know how to zoom this in.
Okay, well, we'll see if we can figure that out.
Not counting gang violence. Great. Not counting.
Let me see if I can slow it down too.
Okay, if you want to drop that video for me or to me, I've got the same video. Hang on.
The 2-minute 59-second video.
Yeah, let me bring it up.
I posted it on my channel, so you probably do. You might have screen grabbed it or something.
Yeah, that's the one I just used.
Okay, well then, if you got the same video as me, then no worries. All you did was zoom it in then.
But maybe yours is a bit higher resolution. If you can just send it to me in a DM in X quickly, then I can pull it.
Okay, yeah, sure. Give me a sec.
Make sure that it's, because unfortunately what happens is the camera goes out of focus.
Yeah. Okay. Messages. Let me find you over here.
I mean, based on the camera angle on the camera from behind, you
There you
should be
go.
able to see that. But when they showed the image, the video to Candace, we don't know at what point they stopped the video and just said, look, there's no wound, and stopped it before you could see that. Because I don't know. I don't trust those people to be telling the truth.
No, I
honestly-
don't either. And secondly, another point is she was seeing the camera. What she was seeing, she wasn't seeing it, right there in front of her. She was seeing it through FaceTime with somebody else, which is also going to distort the quality by a ton. So that she may not be able to see the blood pooling in the ear and stuff off of that camera too, because she's seeing it through, she's seeing it through the FaceTime.
That's correct. That, and also if you're looking in the wrong place. I mean, the only
Yep.
reason why I looked for it is because my vector analysis showed it to be that it should be there. So I started that started. Okay, so that's this one here. Okay, so what we'll do is I'll see if I can download it. I can't download it. But what we'll do is let's see if we can.
You can use the here, hold on, let me send you a tool. You can download it very easily. Hold on, give me a sec. Let me get back out to my DMs here. All you got to do is drop that, I'm going to throw a website. This is a free X loader, a free X video downloader online. All you got to do is drop the link to my video in it, and it will download it for you for free.
Okay, let's have a look here. So I've got it. I can play it. I can zoom in on it. So
Gotcha.
Colin, if you want to share, I'll share screen again.
Yep.
Let me just see, where am I? Over there. And then let's just share screen again. Entire screen, we'll do that, share. Okay, so then we'll jump back to X over here. I can expand this. Okay, so now we can zoom in. Okay, so let's have a look. So I'm going to scroll it down. You see, there's no blood there yet. Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing. Now it's starting to pull. There it flows. Look,
exactly. I see it.
there it flows. So up until this point, if they cut the video before that, no evidence of blood. But there you go. You can see it starting. You can see there, that little blip on his right ear is where the blood starts pooling because of the surface tension and the stickiness of the blood, which is going to form and then it builds up.
Yeah, you said you can or can't zoom in.
Sorry, say again.
You said you can or you can't zoom in.
Oh, this is the best I can. What I need to do is let's see if I can zoom in further. No, yeah, I can. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. What I can do is to zoom in. Is just take screenshots and then we can zoom in on the screenshots. So that's before, and that's the spill. So we can take a screenshot of him there. Okay, so we can see in all of those images, even though it's blurred, there's nothing there. There you start. Okay, so I'm going to take a screenshot on this. Okay, so we'll take a screenshot on this. Oh, there we go. That's still pretty good. So I can take a screenshot on that. Okay. So we'll try and get it the same. So I'll go from the center of that logo to the microphone. No, let's go down to that point there. Okay, to that corner there, so we can get the same. And then we'll jump over here. Let's move down. Let's go to a new Control B. Okay, so once we've got that, okay, so now we'll go back to this one, and let me just. Okay, so we're going to try and get that the same because okay, so we can grab that one and we can try and get it the same size. We can scale it back, so it's not a problem since we will be using. Okay, so we'll go from the center there to that there. And then we'll drop it back in here. Okay. We'll do the next one. Okay. Let's do that. Yeah, that way I can actually move the, so we don't have to scale again. Okay, so we'll go that clip there. New. Okay, let's just move that away. So we'll go again from that point there to that corner there. Where is it? Roughly there. Okay, we'll drop it in. Okay. And we'll go to the next one. Okay, that's the one just before the blood spilled. So we'll go from there to there. Okay. And we'll drop that back in here. Okay, and then the next one is where it spills. Let's go to the next one. Bang, right there. Okay. Okay. So now we can zoom in. Move that. Let's move this guy out of the way. Let's close this. There we go. Okay, so that's the whole sequence there.
Gotcha.
So there you see, you can see the hairline, you can see the hairline, you can see the hairline. That's not
That's
hairline.
blood. Yeah, that's definitely blood. You can see every single one of those. You can see where it's getting more dark. It's darker and more volume. Every single one.
Yeah.
So that's proof that he was shot from the right.
From the right, and
just like I've been saying, just like you've been saying.
That's correct. But not only that, he was shot right in the ear canal.
Which is why you don't see a bullet hole on his neck or anything.
That's correct.
Which I assume, honestly, I personally thought he was either shot in the ear or in the hairline. That's why we didn't see it.
Well, I used to be a competition level marksman in my young days. Okay. And what I can say to you is one of the key things when you shoot is you pick up a distinct feature. You know, that's why you have a little round dot as your bullet, as your bullseye. Okay, because that allows you to focus in on a specific point. Now, if I had to shoot somebody from a rooftop, that's where I would aim. I would aim right at the ear canal because it gives you a very nice distinct spot to keep your sight on. Makes
Agreed.
And we're talking about 46. My calculations shows 46 to 50 meters away. Okay,
It would be dead accurate.
It's dead accurate, man. I used to I used to in my young days 22 long, and we would minor competitions. And we shot with open sights, not scopes, and we shot at a distance of 25 meters. And if you competed provincially, then you shot at 50 meters with a 22 open sight. And literally the bullseye was the size of your pinky, of the tip of your little finger. And we had no trouble hitting it. If your gun was properly sighted, and that wasn't even with a dead rest. That was prone on your elbows. So for somebody with a scope and a professional, that's an easy shot. Now, let me bring up my CAD model.
I just talked to Ty, by the way. He's getting his stuff together. He's going to join us.
Okay, cool. So let me save the sequence here. Save this. Okay. So Ty has placed the shooter. Let me go to.
We believe he was on the BA building. We believe he was right on the very corner, right there, on
Yes,
where
no,
the roof is slanted on top of the BA building. He was laying right there.
Okay, so that was where I originally positioned him as well. Okay, I want to show you this. This is my 3D model. I took a screenshot. Okay, so I've looked at a couple of possible positions. So this 3D model, there's one caveat. I am waiting to confirm the exact heights of these points. Okay, so as you can see, that is on the corner there of the BA building.
Yep.
Okay. Right there. This balcony here interferes with the line of sight.
It actually does not. From videos that we've seen of people there and the drones and everything, it actually does not.
Okay, well, that's why I say I have to confirm this, because to me, I don't care if he was shot from there, or there. The point is, he wasn't shot from the Losi building.
Exactly, and that's my point too.
Semantics. So
we know, regardless of where he was shot at, we know it came from this corner. It had to have come from this corner somewhere up here.
That's correct. So I want to show you something else. So this is really early on in my analysis, where I basically, because what I did was I did a vector analysis of the wound. I said, okay, let's assume he's shot in the right ear. What are the angles that will work? Okay, so if we go to this here, so this was a screenshot I took of my 3D model. So this is the canopy that was over him. Okay, 2 meters by 3 meters.
Yep.
If when I plotted a direct vector from his right ear canal to where the exit wound in the neck is, which is right there, okay, I got a 42.6 degree angle. Okay, that is the exact angle of ear to neck wound. Okay, so let me bring up another image. Let me bring up the sequence. I've got a sequence here. Yeah, the sequence here. Okay, so that was really early on in my investigation. Okay, so that's
that kind of looks about right, because it would be at a steep angle, because he is behind him and he's up at it would be a pretty steep angle.
Yeah, but I'll show you now what band. So that is a direct, but we know that because of momentum transfer, the bullet would actually come down. The moment it is decelerated, it will come down. And I can explain that from a physics perspective. So that means that the actual angle was less than 42.6 degrees. So if we now go to the next one, so that's the position of the exit wound. I traced it through the right ear canal. So the left and right will line up from this angle. So it gave me a yaw of about 9.17 degrees. But this was the crucial one. This gave me off of his, if you draw a plane through his shoulders, it gave me an angle of 8.4 degrees off of his, to the back of his 3 o'clock. And then when I placed that roughly, on the position he was, right there, you see where it points to? That's the 8.4 degrees, 8.4 degrees off his 3 o'clock. And look where this vector goes through. It goes through basically that position there.
Exactly.
All the top of this building here on the I think it's the FG building.
I don't think he was there though, because that was highly visible from the crowd. Anybody up there could have seen him.
No, it's not. It's actually not. Let's jump up to Google Maps. Let's open up a Google Maps, and we'll get an indication. We'll get an indication. So let me put in Utah Valley University. Okay, we'll close that off, and then we'll go and we'll zoom in. Let's find. I always have trouble finding that. Where is it? Let's zoom in. Where is that spot? Let me just see if I can find. Oh my goodness me! There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. So what we're going to do is we'll do this so we can actually. Okay, you see that?
You can actually, what you need to do is you need to go to not Google Maps, but Google Earth. And there's a point in Google Earth where you can actually, you could stand in that, you could stand right there in where the crowd would be, and you can look up at that area.
Look, here's the thing, but there's something else that people miss. This roof of the FG building has a ridge around it. And you can see it. You can see it there because the roof slopes down from this end to that end. You can see that ridge around it.
Yeah.
Okay. You can see the ridge around it right there. Now our estimations is that ridge is about between 2 and 3 feet high. So you could very easily.
Somebody did a drone of that area. I'm trying to think who. Oh, Ian Carroll.
Ian Carroll, yes. Ian Carroll did a video, so we can.
Let me see if I can find that drone video and pull it up so we can look at that.
Right. I want to talk about the possible exfil, okay, from this position. So you've got something, this ridge that you can hide behind. You should. There's a video that pops up that sees a figure running back this way. And this here, right this here in the center, that is access to the roof via stairwell. So if you look at the building plans of the FG building, this here is access to the roof.
Gotcha. Right. I have his drone video. We can go ahead and pull that up and take a look real quick.
So I'll stop sharing. But here's the thing, okay? So what we're arguing about literally is semantics, because it doesn't matter if we shot from this corner here, or on the BA building, or if we shot from the top here. The fact is, the shot did not come from the Losi building. Period. Now,
I agree with you.
We are doing.
I just want to look at that ridge and see what you're talking about there, because I didn't know that ridge was that high. But if that ridge is that high, like you're saying, then absolutely it would be
perfect position.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say is we are busy. I'm working with Matt Bowden. He goes by the handle @audio_freak, FREQ. And we are doing a 3D spatial sound analysis on it. And all of the spatial sound analysis points to this exact point here, okay, as well.
Gotcha.
So the vector analysis, So, but again, as I'm saying, it definitely does not put this shooter. And Ty made a mistake. He put the shooter on this roof. It was actually there. Apparently, that's where they claim Tyler Robinson shot from. But
Okay, I
it's
think
impossible.
this is his.
The sound analysis, because here's the thing. With the sound analysis and using echolocation, and we're using stereo analysis, and I can explain why it works, we can pretty much pinpoint exactly where the shot came from. And that, so that is something I'm actually doing a
It looks like a drain pipe, at least.
on.
It looks thin and long. So maybe that's what we were seeing.
Can you hear
Seems
that?
logical.
I
So
can
I was
hear that.
expecting to
Let's
see a
stop
drain
sharing
pipe up
so you
there
can
and to be like,
hear
cool, it's a drain pipe. It's there.
Say again. Could you hear that through your side or no?
Yes, I could hear that. No problems.
Okay. Yeah. So this is his drone footage of that building that you're talking about there.
Yep. Okay. Let's see.
So part of the reasoning for why.
Hold on. Let me knock it down. It's my internet's not that great. Let me knock it down some. He films in 4K.
This
My
rooftop
computer
is
can't run that.
suspect, in my opinion, is because we saw that weird thing in the footage that was on the rooftop. But people obviously notice on Google Earth, there's this little
I mean, matter of fact, let me use that full screen. Okay, there's full screen.
black thing that looks like a shadow from like a drain pipe, right? Theoretically, it looks like a drain pipe. At least it looks thin and long.
That's not a
So maybe
drain
that's
pipe.
what we were
It's
seeing.
actually an
Seems
exhaust
logical.
vent.
It's what now?
Now that thing you pointed out is not a drain pipe. It's actually an exhaust vent.
Exhaust vent. Okay.
So I was expecting to see a drain pipe up there and to be like, cool, it's a drain pipe. It's there all along. It must just be a weird like artifacting of why it disappears. But it's worth noting that this looks like roof access right here. This structure.
Okay, so he's pointing out, like you said, that's roof access. But I think, let me just go back just a little bit because he showed that ridge right there.
Yeah.
This structure.
Let me go
But
back.
it's worth noting that.
But he's working. This is Google. This is not. I can see this is not the drone footage.
No, this
not-
is his.
This looks like roof.
Oh, you know what? Maybe you're right.
No, it's not. Go back. Just go.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. It says Google Earth right at the top there too.
Yeah, it's not drone footage.
He took drone footage. I don't know where it is, but
Yes,
but yeah,
I saw it. I saw it, and that's why you could clearly see it was. It's a, and you can see that. You see, this is bent down in the corner here.
Yep.
The shadow that shows because the vent, the exhaust vent is bent in a U downwards so that rain doesn't get into it.
Gotcha.
Okay. And but the
All
thing
right,
is, exhaust vents don't run around. Exhaust vents don't run around. I'm sorry.
Yeah, obviously. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you. There is a lip there that is enough for somebody to hide behind if they wanted to. So I mean, I guess technically it could be either one, but it really doesn't. Like you said, it really doesn't matter. It's just we know it came from that direction. It had to be either there or on the BA building, one or the other. The only reason I say the BA building is because we caught the guy running. I don't know if you saw the video where we actually saw him running afterwards.
No, that's not him, Matt. That's not him. That was part of his security detail. That's not him. And
it's part of his security detail, but his security is also in on it.
No, yeah, but he didn't take the shot. He didn't take the shot. I'm pretty sure of that because there's another video. And what we can do is if I can just share my screen quickly.
Yeah, sure.
Again, then I'll show you. There's a video which actually captures the guy before the shooting happens. Before the shooting happens, and I'll show you where he roughly stood. And people can go and find the video pointing, showing him. Okay, so can you see my screen? Yep. Okay, cool. Okay, so that guy Let me just get my bearings again. Where am I there? Okay.
I do know he went down to the crowd afterwards because I have video of him afterwards,
Okay.
walking
So,
around the crime scene.
yeah, no, but what happened? You remember there are two areas that were taped off, and that was taped off right here and right there. Okay.
And
that
I
was so
also
that
have camera foot. I also have a camera footage of him standing on that balcony before it happened too, leaning over the balcony, which I got a really good picture of him there.
That's right. He was standing roughly about here.
Yep.
Either there or there. Okay. So you're not going to go from this end, jump down that roof. How did he get from before the shooting? That guy was security detail. He was not the shooter.
Well, here's the deal. Do you have that you saying it? The only thing I have is the picture that someone sent me of where he was before the shooting. I don't have that actual video that picture was taken from. I
didn't download the video, and I honestly can't remember who took it, but people can find it. You can see the guy standing there.
My question is, when was he at that balcony? I don't know how early he was there before the shot. Okay. Was it 20 minutes? Was it 10 minutes? Was it 2 minutes? Because it all makes a difference. If it was like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, then he absolutely could have got up to the roof and took the shot before then.
No, I doubt it. I think here's the thing, Colin. I think we are getting sidetracked if we try and identify who the shooter was. The key thing is Tyler Robinson was not the shooter, and the shot did not come from the Losi building, which means they are prosecuting an innocent young man, and people are frothing at the mouth to send him to the electric chair, to give him the death penalty. He's an innocent young man. Can you imagine if that was you at that age, or it was your son, and he's suddenly charged when it's absolutely no. I'm not saying that he was or was not on the roof. I'm saying he didn't take the shot. Now, the circumstantial evidence that the FBI is, and a lot of people are putting out here, and they say, well, he's got gravel on his hands and he's got fingerprints on the gun. Well, obviously, if the gun was his, okay, now who knows why he was there? Could somebody have got hold of the gun and placed it there? Of course, if it's his gun, he's going to have his DNA on it. Okay? Of course, maybe he was on the roof, maybe he was not. Maybe it wasn't him. We don't know. That is not 100%. But let's say he was on the roof. Then he might have been an accomplice in some form. As Ty put out, a patsy.
He was not. He was not. I do not believe he was on the roof. I posted a picture that I was sent from somebody who was in the crowd that day up on that balcony that took pictures of him, showing him at the crime scene, down there on the ground. So there's no way he could have been at the roof at that time. Absolutely not.
Correct. Okay, but all of this is semantics. The key point is he was not the shooter. Because the shot,
absolutely not.
Okay, so if he was involved or not involved, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The fact is the FBI is lying. The narrative they're trying to spin, and anybody that actually continues with that narrative potentially is going to be responsible if they go ahead with the trial of Tyler Robinson, and if they give him the death sentence, would have actually all been complicit in his murder, in Tyler Robinson's murder. And I
agree, and it's wrong. And another thing that makes me angry on it is that he's not even being given due process. He's not he's not allowed to pick his own defense attorney, because I'm in contact with people that have a super high profile defense attorney out of New York that wants to do the case pro bono. And from what I'm being told, the judge is not allowing it. The judge is refusing to allow this guy on the case.
And I mean, Sam Parker has pointed out the search terms, and including the two judges, were searched from an IP address. But to me, I'm trying to stick to only the things I can prove. Okay, so the actual proof in the pudding is at the end of the day will be our 3D spatial sound analysis, because you cannot fudge that. And the people that use the crash, the crack bang method, I'm going to prove that you cannot use that method at all. Scientifically, physics, I can prove that you cannot use that method unless you knew exactly the velocity of the round. Okay.
Well, I'm not saying you're wrong on that. I'm just saying that even the no, hang on a second. I'm not discrediting. I'm saying even that the crack bang analysis that was done even confirms what we're saying, that the shot came from over in that corner where we're talking about.
Well, I don't know what method of analysis they used, but it's flawed. I can
Well,
guarantee you.
I'll show you. I don't know either, but I'll show you what I have here.
No, I'm familiar. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. For example, where all the circles intersect pretty much at that same spot.
Exactly.
Those are completely flawed methods. Let me give you a quick. I'll give you a quick science lesson in relation to sound analysis and echolocation. So I'm busy doing a much better. I'm doing a proper video on it, but I'll just quickly give a basic. I'll just quickly give you a basic rundown. Okay, so let's say we've got. Oh, hang on a second. I've got it over here. I've done a. Let me find it. Let me find it. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, this is what they said right here.
Yeah, I know what they said, but they are making assumptions, and it's not accurate. It's not accurate, and I can okay. I want to show you this picture. Okay, can you see that?
No,
Colin?
you haven't shared your screen yet. Okay, no, you haven't shared your screen yet.
Okay, hang on. Let me share my screen. Sorry.
Hey Ty, good to see you, buddy. This is Gideon. He's been working. He made a 3D model of the shooting site and the trajectory of the bullet and everything. And he's got some really good intel that he's showing us. So, I'll let you just, I guess, hop in here.
Yeah. Ty, let me give you a quick. I'm an engineer, and I'm part of a small team of 3 engineers that's working to solve this situation. There's a couple of things in relation to the physics which I would like to get people to understand better, so that we are not working with flawed assumptions or hypotheses. Okay, so let's look at the crack bang analysis. And as I said, I'm doing a video explaining the pressure wave, the shock wave coming off of the supersonic round, all of that. But this is a very simple, quick example of why you can't use the crack bang. Okay, so let's say the shooter is here, and I'll zoom in so people can see that a bit better. Okay, so let's say the shooter is right here in the center. Okay, we know the speed of sound, and let's assume a bullet. Let's say this is the bullet here. Okay, and it's traveling at some velocity. Then, depending on the velocity at which the bullet travels, we have 2 observers. Observer 1 is over here, and observer 2 is over there. They are an equal distance from the source of the sound. Okay, but the person here will hear the shock wave, will have an audible response to the shock wave. So this here's the shock wave propagating from the bullet, will hear it at exactly the same time as the sound from the crack, if that bullet traveled at the speed of sound. If that bullet traveled at a higher speed of sound, depending on your position, you can either hear the bang first and then the crack, or you could hear the crack first and then the bang. it literally depends on how far away you are from the trajectory of this bullet. Because if you can see here, it's a cone. If you look at the cone here, okay, this cone arrives at the same time as the sound if the bullet was traveling at the speed of sound. This observer here will have heard the crack first and then the sonic boom. So you can see that depending on the observer's position, you're going to get different time delays between the frequency or the signal or signature of the crack versus the sonic boom. Okay, so
Gotcha.
so you cannot use it. You cannot use it to actually work it backwards, because the velocity of the bullet has to be known very accurately in order to do that. So the method that we are using is we're using the same method that is used in echolocation, or that bats use to actually determine the direction and location of a sound. And what that is, and I'll give you guys a quick rundown on that. And that cannot be fudged. Okay. So if we have, you know what, I'll do it in my CAD. Hang on, because that's going to be easier. Okay. Okay, so we'll just do front plane switch. Okay, so let's zoom in. Okay, so let's assume you have a camera. Okay, so I'm here and I'm taking, let me see, hang on a second, let me use a different one. We'll use that one. So,
just to fill you in, Ty, on what you missed so far, is he found we were able to look on camera and see that there is blood actually pooling in his right ear, in Charlie's right ear, which is even more proof that he was shot from the right side. And he also agrees that the shot came up from that corner where we're talking about.
Ty, your microphone, I think you're muted.
I have new data, and excuse me if I'm echoing. I tried to get my Bluetooths on, but they're not going on for some reason.
We can hear you now, by the way.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. I have new data, and excuse me if I'm just getting on. I only have a few minutes to be on, but I was talking to Steve earlier, Colin, and I stayed up all night last night. That's why I'm kind of tired now, and I'm out of it, to be honest with you. Guys, I have new data. Colin, you're gonna be so happy, bro. That supports more of the BA sniper theory. It explains exactly what a guy running across the overpass was doing. And I can announce here on your show, I want to say all of the drones. And I believe I know what kind of system they were using. This was an absolute complete operation. The drones were used. More than one drone was used in orchestration. And it took me hours of last night to piece together all the drones, but I have them. And
well, let's talk about that afterwards, because his time's limited on here.
Yeah, so I was going to say I'm about to jump off of here myself. But if our brother here, if his analysis does support the BA sniper theory from that angle, we're probably, I'm telling you that here on your show first, we're probably going to start looking at that from, a lot of people are talking about drones right now. We're probably going to start looking at the possibility from that angle as well, based on the precision of the shot.
Well, the drones had nothing to do with the shot. I can tell you that much.
You don't think so?
100%.
Yeah, 100%. We can prove it. Ty, we can prove it with sound. We're building a 3D spatial sound, and I'll explain quickly why sound.
And by the
works.
way, I talked to Steve this morning, and he actually agrees as well. He said drones are a no-go. He said that this morning to me.
Yeah, I talked to him this morning too, and he seemed to think the same thing. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know. I don't know, because I'm looking at the sound analysis of that particular area, and I'm looking at the signature of multiple shots happening at one time. And with the eyewitness testimony on the ground being so varied, as far as what people heard, some people heard 2 shots, which would skew our analysis here. And it's verified. And these people who heard 2 shots were at different points around Charlie.
You guys need to understand how sound works. There's a number of things, and I'm building a proper presentation on that. All of those, the understanding, the majority of people in their understanding of what they heard and the sound and everything, we are going to lay to bed all of that, okay? But that is a full presentation just on sound. But I'm just going to show you quickly.
Cool.
Okay, so those are all evidence that we can't rely on, and we actually don't agree, and we can actually prove that, literally prove that through the physics. Okay, that some of these things are not accurate, and people's assumptions and presumptions, it's because they don't understand how sound works. Okay, so what I want to show you here is, okay, if this is a sound source here, right there where the 2 little red arrows is, and we know that sound travels on that day due to the temperature and the relative humidity, the speed of sound was 346.8 meters per second. Sorry guys, I work in SI units metrics, but you can convert that to feet per second. Okay, so the sound travels at a constant velocity or constant speed. Now let's say we've got a camera here, and it has 2 microphones, because the cell phones have, or mobile phones all have 2 microphones. You've got a microphone on this corner, and you've got a microphone on this corner. So what you're going to see is, as the sound comes past, the left microphone is going to record the sound before the right microphone. And you will see it when you look at the sound analysis. There's the sound coming into the left microphone on the top, and then it is recorded by the right microphone. Okay? Now, if and you will always have that. So what that tells us is, that shows us the direction, because we can calculate the difference, the angle. We can calculate this angle that the phone is relative to the shooter based on the sound, and we know what direction the camera was facing. So we can accurately calculate exactly the direction where the sound came from. Now, to make it even easier, is I'm gonna say, okay, so this camera here, this one here, is pointing in this direction. It's pointing in this direction. Okay. If the sound source were on this trajectory here, what will happen? See what happens when I draw a circle in. Okay, you see that? So what will happen is, the sound will arrive at exactly the same time for both microphones. So you can exactly know that the sound came from that angle, exactly where the camera is pointing. Now I'm going to show you guys quickly an audio. So what we have is I'll show you this image here. I'll show you this image here. So the angle from which this video was taken, this video here. Okay, So this video here, the camera, because the camera is sitting, actually is pointing here, okay? Sort of in
Gotcha.
between the speakers, because the camera is on the left side of the phone, okay? Or the top of the phone. And because this is in landscape, it points there. What we've done is we've looked at the sound of this footage, and the sound actually shows the stereo sound arriving at exactly the same time, which means that this camera was pointing exactly at the shooter's location. Guess where it's pointing, guys? It's pointing up there. If you extrapolate that point up there, okay, it's going to get to the corner of the BA building or that corner of the FG building. Now, if we have a portrait view of this same footage, which we do, and I'll tell you guys, so this video here, so let me just pause that.
Yeah, I have this video. I was looking at it earlier.
Yeah, so this video here, right as the shot rang out there, guess where it's pointing? Okay, it's also pointing in that direction, roughly, so it's slightly off, okay? But what it means is we can very accurately determine the direction of where the sound came from. And the direction came from either there or there. That's it. We can prove that with sound. It is unrefutable. Unrefutable. Okay? So if we look at the actual signal, and I'll just bring up I'll open up, and then I'll show you guys. Do that. Move this guy out of the way. We'll probably up there somewhere. Okay.
I like what you're saying as far as the you're the first person I've heard talk about the dual microphone and how the sound actually hits the left and the right microphone, and if it hits it at different times. That's a very, very good point of analysis, just to let you know.
Well, it's you can't refute that, Ty. They can't refute that. It is forensically accurate. It cannot be debunked, and it is what it is. Okay. So here's different speeds of that angle. Okay. So I want to show you. I'll zoom in and play this section where the shot actually happens. Okay.
Now, hold on. Before you do, which video is this? Is this the vertical one or the horizontal one?
Now this is video. I'll show you the that's this one here.
Okay,
That's
gotcha.
Okay, so I'll quickly play this video so you guys can hear the sound is the same. Okay, so I'm not bullshitting. So I'm going to play this video. Okay. Okay, so there's the shot. Now it's playing at 0.75. Half speed. Okay. Quarter speed. Okay, so you guys heard that? Okay,
Yep.
so now I'm going to play the audio so you guys can know that I'm playing that video. Okay, so you guys agree that that's the same footage?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to zoom in at the normal speed here. Okay, and then I'm going to show you guys something. Okay, so we're going to play that. Okay, you guys agree that that's the shot?
Yep.
Let's do it from there to there. So I'll zoom in slower, you know. Okay, so that's okay. So we'll bring this end in. Okay, and then we'll bring this end in. So we're going to slowly zoom in into this region. Okay? You guys agree? Now, let me make this a bit bigger. Okay, so now I want to show you. Okay, let's take this peak here, right there. Okay? Look at that, guys. See those two peaks are at the same point?
Almost identical.
And they are identical, which means the left microphone, which is showed on the top, the right microphone, which is on the bottom, pointed exactly in the direction of the shot. Exactly.
So I think what you're also trying to say is from that particular angle, from the horizontal one that you were showing, that one right there. By the way, at 0.50, you can see that flash in the window at the 0.50 speed. But what you're trying to basically say, and what I think would be good for the people here too, is what you're saying scientifically is the left-right audio of the microphone was picking up was directly in front, but what it was not picking up was a shot that was maybe coming from the left of that position of that camera, because it would have picked up on the left microphone first and then the right microphone second. Is that what you're saying?
That is correct. So the sound could not have come from the left.
Absolutely. I get it. Wow, great analysis.
It's impossible.
Now, before I get off of here, I just want to ask you one question. Hold on, let me make sure.
Yeah, sure.
How do you say your name? I'm sorry.
Gideon.
Gideon. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm on my phone. It's so small. Gideon, I want to ask you one quick question before I get off of here. For both of you guys, I agree with you. This is the first time that I've seen this analysis. I think this is a wonderful, wonderful point of view for an analysis. So I don't want to. I hope I didn't seem, argumentative or anything like that. I'm not trying to discredit you.
No, don't worry, man. It's all good.
But I do want to say, I actually 100% agree with what you're doing here. I want to figure out, how do we figure out whether it was a human that took that shot or something else that took that shot? Especially from that location. I don't know if you've seen my two-part my 2-hour series on it. That's where I find the location of the BA sniper, that building. I was the first person to kind of put that out, that, hey, their trajectory kind of works out to be in this position anyway. Initial sound triangulation had it kind of close. So I left it kind of open to a reason of like error and maybe people just sleuthing around and maybe didn't have the proper results. I like your analysis even more because they didn't say this in the first sound triangulation video. And I think that this is important information right here. So what I'm trying to figure out, and this is what I was talking to Steve about, is whether our shooter is done with a drone or with a person. We can agree that it came from the trajectory of that angle of that building, and which is going to offer the most secure amount of cover, so that you can't be seen by the general crowd, based on everything that I show in the video and the railway and all the stuff there and the angles. How this is great information, but I still believe that our shooter, whether it's the guy running across the bridge or whether it's a drone, it has to be one of those two things, and it has to still come from that trajectory. I'm so happy that your work does not suggest that it comes from the LC building and the 30-6 and all this other crazy stuff.
That's all bullshit. That's complete bullshit. The physics proves it completely wrong. Now, I just want to make this clear. It doesn't matter if it was a drone or if it was a guy, if it was an Oompa Loompa that shot him.
I agree.
It doesn't matter. What it's to me is they are trying to give the death sentence to a young man that could not have been the shooter. and I find it disgusting.
I agree. Yes, sir. That's right, Gideon. That's right. And it's disgusting. And we have more than enough proof. More than enough proof to suggest that the sound didn't come from there, the shot didn't come from there. Nothing came from the LC building that day that would have altered Charlie Kirk's life in any way.
That's correct. That's correct. So we just have to prove that the shot came from over here. If I don't care if it's Mother Teresa that took this shot, from there. I don't care who it is. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank
The
you,
who
brother.
isn't
Thank you.
important. Just the fact that it came over there is the only thing that we really care about right now.
This is getting me excited, Gideon, because you don't understand how hard I worked on proving that it was the BA building. So to jump on here to hear you saying sound triangulation and the scientific merit of the left-right microphone suggests, that the evenness and timing from the direction of the shot, bro, you made my whole night, Gideon. Thank you.
My pleasure, brother. Wait. Well, I mean, it's just quickly. I just wanted that flash that you call is a flash of the muzzle. That could not have been a reflection, okay, because of the angle, the reflective angles, okay. If you shot from this position here, so that is where because that's where I also thought the possibility was. My final hypothesis is that the shot was taken from this position here. So that's the angle, okay? And there's a couple of reasons for that. As I said, it doesn't matter. It's 90 degrees.
Can I show you something? Can I show you something of what perplexed me about that? Because we can actually see that angle and kind of see that angle in the shot. And can I show you one thing that perplexed me about that? Can you zoom back into your graphic where we're showing where it was?
Yeah, can I just quickly just address that flash that's seen as a reflection? Okay. Zeb Boykin was the guy that actually picked up on it, and he postulated that it was a vapor cloud, a supersonic vapor cloud. And then I figured out it wasn't supersonic, it was a transonic vapor cloud, where the bullet actually went from supersonic and dropped below supersonic into subsonic. And it created that vapor cloud because the moment the shock wave delaminates from the projectile, okay, because the projectile now falls behind the shock wave, that creates a low pressure region, which on the conditions, relative humidity and temperature on that day was absolutely perfect to form that vapor cloud right there. That is on the trajectory of the shot. Now, when I actually plotted that, I was able to work off of the reflections. On the windows and the rough position of the camera that took it. And what happened was there's a pink bag here, and that reflection of that pink bag is in this window here. And I could triangulate that information, and I could figure out that vapor cloud, where it was positioned in 3D space. And when you plot that on this vector, I unfortunately switched that vapor cloud off, but I can show you this image here where I actually plotted it properly. Let me find it. And it matches. The vapor cloud's 3D spatial position sits right on top that trajectory. Okay, give and take, margin of error. Let me try and find it. Where is it?
That actually makes perfect sense, and I could see that because it doesn't. I was having a hard time trying to figure out if the shooter was on the BA building, how it was that clear in the window, even if it reflected off of the shiny side of the building, it wouldn't have been. So if it was the actual vapor cloud, I think that's a better explanation for it.
Okay, so what we see here is there's the vapor cloud. Okay, you can see the model aligns with the camera angle.
I'm sorry, hold on, show us again. Where's the vapor cloud?
over here. It's
Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. I see. Yeah.
in a window. Now, the reason why I could figure that out is on higher quality videos that were released from this, you can actually see the vapor cloud's reflection right there with the little hand is. And I was able to use the reflection on this window pane, the position of the vector running through the angle, the view angle, and as well as you see, that's the pink, there's the pink suitcase or the pink backpack, and that's this pink backpack over there. So I could use those to triangulate and point out this position of this vapor cloud in 3 dimensions. And when I did it, that is the shot angle, and there's the vapor cloud in the 3D model. Right there. They line up.
Wow.
Okay. So that is why I'm saying we have not 1, not 2, not 3. We have approximately 20 pieces of evidence. The sound evidence are you cannot fudge it. It's unrefutable. Then we have supporting evidence like the blood out of the right ear, which I'm 100% certain that's blood out of the right ear. Okay.
We also have the laser scope on Frank's phone.
Absolutely, that laser
So
spot.
that's what I was kind of looking at. Now I'm not the sound vapor thing. I'm not I gotta maybe look at that again. But I do know that the so I wish that I could show you. I wish I had my stuff in front of me. But from the angle that you were showing on the side of that white building there, from the top, from that high trajectory,
Yes.
When I initially did my analysis of that, and as far as where the shot entered into Charlie from that location, with the degrees being just a few degrees off. But from what I figured is the top of that building, that degree of separation still matters tremendously. And the reason why I said that is because of the entry point, that part of the building would put him more what's the word I'm looking for? Is it perpendicular? Right there at a right angle, basically, at either a right angle or less than a right angle of the actual shot. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's actually the shot was taken 8.4 degrees off his shoulder, and I'll show you here.
Behind the shoulder, right?
That's correct. So here is an early analysis that I did, where I actually determined the exact angle. Let me bring that up. Okay, so that's an early analysis that I did, and you can see I was able to actually trace it at exactly 8.4 degrees, and that placed that vector right through this portion here. And as you can see, that includes within a margin of error both this point here, which is the BA building, or on top of the FG building. But it doesn't matter because it's certainly not the
Now here, if we could pause right there. This is what I wanted to offer into your theory. And this is the part that kind of maybe helped me to understand it a little bit better. Right where you have your red circle is exactly where I put my red triangle for my analysis.
That's correct.
What I realized is that white building that's right there, to the right of the red circle, that's touching the right of the red circle. If you can go back to that.
Yeah, this one.
Okay, so the corner of where that wall comes out for the patio that's there, anything any shot that would have to happen would have to supersede and come in front of that corner in order for our flash to even show up on that wall.
No, but let me show you.
It's not a flash, though.
It's not a flash. It's a vapor cloud. And let me show you.
It's the actual bullet. It's the bullet when it comes out of being supersonic to subsonic. Kind of like a jet. When a jet does that, it makes a big boom, and you can actually see the pressure wave around it.
Okay, you're saying it's not a flash at all. Instead, it's creating a cloud as it's coming in. You're saying
exactly. It's like the bullet. It's like a pressure wave around the bullet that it's creating from going from supersonic to subsonic.
That's correct.
Hmm.
So that's the position. You see that little blue dot there? You can see here, you can see my vectors that I use to actually triangulate the reflections.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the bag. Okay. So I used all of this to actually work out what is the three-dimensional position of that vapor cloud, and it's right there. Okay. So look at this. Okay, so that is from the top view. So you see it matches us pretty close. Okay, now let's go to the next image. There's the vapor cloud in 3D space.
Yeah.
Okay, you can see I've used all of the different vectors to actually triangulate all of that. Okay, and then if we go to the next one, that's the angle there. And if we look at that in 3 dimensions, it places that vapor cloud right on, come on. It places that vapor cloud right on that trajectory there. Okay. Now.
Yeah. So it goes right to now what I was looking at, and maybe I'm wrong, because if you go back 2 more graphics, your vapor cloud was actually, the trajectory from your vapor cloud was actually going more towards the triangulation of the BA building. Is there a way to go back 2 more graphics?
No. Let's have a look at this. I'll just go top view on my model. Okay. So Ty, I actually don't care if the shot came from the BA or the FG building. I don't care. All I care about is it did not come from the Losi building.
That's how I feel. We can agree on that.
Yes. If the shot came from here or if the shot came from there, doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
Because the shot did not come from there.
It did not come from there. It absolutely did not. Now, I'll just say this before I get off, and I 100% agree with you. I agree with everything you're saying, to be honest with you. And I really enjoy the vapor cloud analysis. I'm glad that I stayed long enough to be able to understand what you were saying there, instead of it being a muzzle flash reflection. So I don't have the ability to, I do have the ability to share screen.
You sure can.
Oh, can I show you something real quick before I go?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I don't have any craziness open or any of my personal information.
We're not live, by the way. This is recorded, so I can edit things out. Did we lose him?
Froze.
I think we lost him.
Yeah.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
He's back.
I'm here. I'm pulling up the information. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I'll be right back.
You do that.
All right.
Yeah, because I'd probably have to get going soon. I need to go and drop some stuff off I need to go and do a delivery of stuff.
Gotcha. I mean, I appreciate you coming on and talking to me. I mean, this was really eye-opening for me. It helps. It helps show what we were trying to point out, and it kind of pisses me off that nobody else is talking about it. Really, none of the other channels are focusing on the stuff we're saying.
Yeah, they're really not. And I can't share screen, guys, so I don't want to waste anybody's time. Basically, so from the right of that, from the left of that circle, and I'll just say it to you so maybe, you can hear it. From the left of the circle, that position, we agree on everything that you're saying. The shot definitely came from the grouping of that area right there. It did not come from the LC center. There's just absolutely no way. Your sound analysis has brought you, to this, and scientific conclusions has brought you to this. My ability to look at the forensics that were available as far as a beam. I know that beams don't bend light, and unless Tyler Kirk was some kind of ultra beam light bender, that
Precisely.
was just
I know exactly because I watched your video. Okay.
okay.
And that's why I reached out to Colin. I said, man, you're so close to on it, but there's a couple of small things that you have, that the physics doesn't align with.
Yeah.
I want you to actually understand which bits in the physics, when you refer to the flash. I went, no, guy, it's not a flash. It's not a flash.
Yeah.
But on the guy standing with his mobile phone, I think that is, Charlie's pastor or something. When he was standing, and you can clearly see the dot coming on and off the phone.
Yep.
And that makes absolute sense. You take the shot, okay, bang, you drop it so that you can exfil.
Exactly.
So it goes up, it drops, have a look, out you go. So yes, those are what I would call supporting evidence.
Yes.
Okay?
Absolutely.
We can't prove that beyond. We can't prove that 100%. There's one thing we can prove 100%, and that's the sound. 100%.
Yeah.
It's irrefutable. Nobody can argue with it. There's no explanation they can come up that could explain.
I absolutely love that. Gideon, can you, Colin, can you pass me Gideon's information as soon as I'm done this this video tonight? I want to shoot it to Gideon. I want you to look at it, sir, and tell me exactly what you think. I think that when you see what I have, it's going to fit exactly what you're saying. I'm just being honest with you.
And I also
sure.
the positioning of the patsies.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
The positioning of the patsies. The positioning of the patsies was to actually create confusion.
Oh, yeah. The patsies. Yeah.
The guy that pretended with his phone, to point, and it goes bang, bang, bang. And originally I looked at it and I went, did that guy shoot? Because you can see him. That was on purpose.
Yes.
Exactly.
But again, I try and stay away from innuendo and speculation. The stuff I work with, zero speculation. So I don't even go to the patsies and the because I think it takes away from the core information. And now that we can show the sound as the unrefutable, okay? And the other thing that is also unrefutable, but it's a little bit harder, the sound is 100% solid. Something that's maybe 99% solid is the corticate position that Charlie went into, okay? So I think Dr. Madison was the one that brought that up. So that means the shot had to go through the midbrain, okay, to cause that. No other position, not a neck wound, not a shot from behind, not a shot from the front, would have actually gone through the midbrain. The only position is right through the ear. Right through the ear.
Yeah.
And you cannot fake that decorticate position. You can't fake it.
And anybody who saw the video actually knows if you slow it down frame by frame, I keep saying that to everybody, frame by frame, very slow. You can see that before Charlie hit the ground, the way his neck unnaturally went back, whatever the bullet did to this area of the brain and also the neck too, something went wrong with his neck and the way that it fell back. It was one of the most unnatural things before the bubbling under the shirt and the opening of the wound.
So we can explain that. We can explain that in medical terms.
Because it seems like whatever they said was the injuries to the what was it, the C5 or
C5?
It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit. I don't even want to speculate about that, Sid.
Yeah.
I just want to focus, because what happens if we bring in the patsy here and the palm pistol and the this and the that?
You don't agree that his neck was injured?
Well, it's his brainstem was blown apart.
I mean, as far as that, the injury to the spinal column, spinal cord area itself.
Well, basically what happens if you look at it, man, the bullet comes in the right ear at an angle. It goes right through the midbrain. It then hits, I'll show you this.
I kind
The
of thought
bullet
it
being
came right
stuck in his
behind
spine
that
is a
ear.
lie.
No,
There is
in
no
the
bullet
ear,
stuck in his spine.
in the ear canal, Ty, in the ear canal.
Oh, you're saying it went in the actual ear canal?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Let me share.
I'll send you the video. Once we're done, I'll send you the video, Ty. But he went over this earlier at the beginning. We went through
Okay.
frame by frame, and you can actually see the blood pooling in his ear before it happens.
Yep.
I mean,
So,
not
okay,
not before it happens, but you can see the blood pooling in his ear right after the shot.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Tell me when you guys can see my screen.
I have to look at that. I can see it.
Yep.
Okay. You see this? There's the ear canal. It's surrounded by bone, gentlemen. It's called the temporal bone, which would cause, if you shoot it at an angle, that bone will deflect the bullet down, going right through and exit where it exits.
Wouldn't the brainstem too? Is if the brainstem was hit in the C4, C5 downward trajectory position, deflect off to the right side while it's creating the cavity coming in?
That cavity would wreak complete havoc. It would cause splinters breaking off of the vertebrae coming off the back here. I mean, it will create absolute havoc. But Gary from Paramount Tactical shared a video of somebody who went ahead and they did different shots on a skull, a resin skull, with ballistics gel around it, gelatin. And right in the beginning, one of the first shots they tried was, they said, we're going to shoot him from the side of the head at an angle, and they used the 9mm. Okay? And the bullet did not exit, but you can see where it stopped. It stopped right at the exact point. And then they took a second one with a round that had higher velocity, and it exited. Okay, but those were very rough. But that shows. But if you look at it, it will hit the temporal bone. The cavitation would cause immense damage, and it will be deflected downwards and come out. And it was actually replicated in that video that Gary shared.
That is actually, I think that's exactly what I'm saying, is that when it comes in, it creates the cavity, if you will, begins to create the cavity. But we notice that whenever a bullet enters into an organic material like that, the cavity widens with distance inside of the body. It doesn't start out as a huge cavity at the beginning. It starts out small at entry and then widens out. And that's kind of what I was saying in my video, based on the tree trunking of the neck. That's
exactly what you would find. So depending on the velocity, that distance, okay, and that the way is that is due to momentum transfer, okay, and that momentum transfer then causes a hydraulic force vector in all directions, literally in a three-dimensional space in all directions, and then it stretches based on the elasticity, and then it collapses. Okay, so that neck expanding is 100% what you would expect.
Okay.
The moment.
So I got that part right.
You got that part right, brother.
Good.
You got that right.
Good. All right. So I'm going to get off of here and listen, Gideon, you have been, Colin, thank you for letting me jump in on. Gideon, thank you for entertaining my late questions. And I know it's difficult when we've gone through a presentation and somebody like me jumps on and says, but what about? So thank you for being a gentleman and for allowing me to, voice, my ideas and stuff like that. I appreciate the space to be able to do that. In leaving, I'm going to make sure that I get you the information. And if yours, and now I have a new way of looking at this instead of a muzzle flash reflection. What are you calling it?
It's a vapor cloud.
Vapor cloud. So the vapor cloud from a hypersonic projectile turning into subsonic.
No, supersonic, hypersonic. Supersonic to subsonic.
Super to sub. Okay.
Yeah. So if you can, I'll quickly in the chat here.
Because I want to give you credit in the work I'm about to do. I think the work I'm doing supports, even more further supports what you're saying, and I like it. I'm gonna show you in my work. The one thing that I'm thinking that I can't show you because I can't do a screen share here on my phone.
Okay. So
I'll send you his contact information.
Yeah, I'm also going to state your work here because I think that your work is the most credible that I've heard so far as that left-right microphone thing. That is another step forward in this case that we can all use out here. And I think that you have definitive evidence with that. And like we were both saying, I don't want people to get confused in any kind of way here. The left-right evidence that Gideon has come up with is definitive. It does not matter whether it was the corner of the top of the white building, the BA building. We're calling it the BA location, right around that area.
We call that location, yes.
Yeah. So guys and girls listening, do not jump into the weeds with us regarding that. That is inconsequential. It just does not matter as far as, it matters, of course, but it doesn't matter as far as the narrative of the LC. We're just disproving that it's impossible for the shot to have came from the LC. And I think Gideon did that here today.
Yeah. Just quickly.
100%.
Colin, if you're going to share this, I would actually want to give credit to Matt Bowden from Audio. He goes at audio_freak, FREQ. So he's actually the expert, the sound expert that brought up that. And when he brought that up, I went, you're right, man. So it's both of our work, not just mine.
Yes. And that's how I felt about the work of me figuring out where that it was an operation, 2 shots that happened simultaneously, milliseconds impact apart, milliseconds. I put my work and based my work on all of the great work that Colin is doing out there and that Steve Ben Danoon of Israeli News Live did by finding that infrared beam. This is a joint effort by all investigative journalists, and we all have to be willing to be open, to listen, to hear other people. And when we do that, we can put together things like what Colin has put together, myself, and also what Gideon is adding to it that allows the truth to move forward. So we keep getting incremental value that is going to lead us up to an ultimate conclusion.
Yeah, just
well, Gideon is an expert. He's an engineer, so that's important too. Is we're actually bringing people that are experts in the field to give their knowledge, and
Yeah, that 3D graph is bad. That's awesome, Gideon.
Oh, I love that, man.
Very important, guys. We cannot at this point in time yet conclude that there's a second shot, and I'll have to explain that. That is pretty complex, and it's got to do with both echoes and Charlie's mic picking up the gunshot. So what I would like to say at this point in time, do not put a lot of focus on the second shot. The possibility that there is or there isn't. Again, that's a distraction because people will start arguing about is there a second shot or not. We will be able to prove if there was a second shot or not yet, but we're still doing the analysis. But on that front, if there was a second shot, or not, it doesn't matter because it didn't come from the Losi building.
No, it didn't come from the Losi building. It didn't come from the Losi building, and I do got to go, but I will say this. Our eyes can't lie to us.
It was definitely a second shot.
We saw what we saw, and when we slow down and we see the disturbance of that shirt, and we see after the shot hit from the right rear, or we'll just say from right rear from the BA building, BA location. After that shot hit, and to see the shirt poof up, and then to see that disturbance come from the right, left, center mass, can't be explained any other kind of way except for a front impact.
Okay, so this is what I can say, by doing echolocation analysis. So that's what we're busy with at the moment. we can not only just use the primary shot sound, we can also work off of the echoes coming off of each building. We can even get so far as to actually determine the size of the face of the building that it's come off based on the sound signal. That would be able
Interesting.
to confirm that there was a second shot or not. We cannot measure the shirt puffing or any of that. We can't measure it. But we can, through the sound, determine if there was a second shot or not. And again, I try and stick only with what I can 100% prove. So the second shot theory is possible, but at this point in time, I can't give you unequivocal evidence to support it or not. Okay,
Look,
that's all I'm
I'm
saying.
gonna go with this and just say, my man Gideon
Understandable.
can't, but I can. I can.
I actually have the bullet. I actually have the bullet coming out of his gun. I have him pulling up the barrel through that crack. So I
Yeah.
have a ton of evidence to show that he
I
fired a
think
second
this is the
shot over
reason
there.
why
but-
they cloaked their sound inside of your sound signature, and I think this is the reason why they pulled off the operation this way. So just the way they used the patsies to hide the location of the actual shooter, they hid the location of the actual shot by cloaking it inside of another shot. And
Exactly.
based off of what Colin does have, I think there was another shot that actually missed. And that story's for another day. But
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that with the there's a shell casing and I found 3 bullets, or I don't know if they're bullets, but projectiles that came from the back of the tent from behind Charlie's head, right where that shell casing is, where that shell casing fell out of.
Yeah, look, it's due to frame rates and stuff. Those are very, very difficult things to say. Well, you caught the bullet on camera, guys.
The shell. Have you seen my shell kit? Hold on. Have you seen the video of the shell casing? Because that's not an artifact. That shell casing I caught is 100% a shell casing.
Yeah, this is the interesting thing. The stereo analysis will point to all the shooters. If there's more than one, if there's 50, we'll find all 50 of them.
Well, that's what I can't wait for.
Unless they were masters at cloaking the sound, and I think that's
impossible.
Impossible to cloak sound.
Yep. No, it's because what we're dealing is you have to have the exact frequency, you have to have the exact behavior of the buildings, the indus angle, at what angle the sound hits the building, where it will reflect to the fact that the sound inverts when an echo is inverted. Okay, so if you have something hitting here, the sound hits here. When it actually propagates off of it, the signal reverses. It inverts.
I understand.
So we can determine not just angles, but we can determine if it's an echo or if it's an original sound source. We can plot pretty much the exact position of where the camera was based on the echo. So just like bats uses echolocation to find an object, that's what we are doing.
Yeah, I would love to see the analysis behind pulling multiple frequency shots off the buildings at exactly the same time, milliseconds apart, and see what that sound wave analysis would look like with multiple guns being fired at the same time.
You need to get it. You need to get it, because what you need to understand is when you look at the sound wave.
No, I'm saying I would just love to see somebody actually put that part together so we can see all of the shots if there was more than one shot at a time.
Yeah,
but that's what he's working on.
Yeah, let me put it
good.
We will give that analysis once we have it. Okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to step through. So we're going to first just simply prove that a shot occurred at 8.4 degrees to his back, at 22 degrees elevation, entered through the right ear canal, exited through the neck.
Yeah.
That's the first one we prove. Okay, and that is based on sound, vectoring, as well as supportive evidence, the coordinate positioning, all of that. Okay, so once we have that, now we can start investigating to what extent the conspiracy to kill Charlie Kirk actually occurred.
Yeah,
Let me-
I believe in that analysis, and I believe in that way. That's actually how I came to. So I'm not mad at that at all. That's how I came to my conclusion. I had to narrow it down to just what matters. I'm just focusing on the shot. That's all I wanted to know when I first saw the infrared beam. I said, I can't focus in on anything else because I know that infrared beams of light don't lie.
Yeah.
It's 100% fact that exists. So I'm starting from that location, and then I work myself, back from that point of analysis. So I agree. You get down to that granular detail, and then we can expand out and talk about all the other things. I think that your work, and again, I don't want to water down anything, so I'm going to leave by saying this last. I think your work, combined with the rest of what we all have here, it adds to the pile. It definitely it verifies that this shot did not come from the LC building, and that is the most important takeaway that we can have. This is now another piece of critical data and information that is 100% verifying that Tyler Robinson did not take the shot from the LC building.
Let's
Thank
say
you for
And the
that, brother.
FBI
Thank
is
you.
lying to us.
Yes, thank you, Gideon. We appreciate you, brother, for that. Thank you, guys, and thank you for allowing me to be on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Ty. And everybody, make sure you go follow him. I'll make sure I tag him in this video when I post it.
Thank you, brother.
And I'll send you, like I said, afterwards, I'll send you the video. I'll send both you guys a copy of the video so you can post it or do whatever
I
you
need
want with it as
Gideon's
well.
contact information, so I want to tag him in my new video because I'm going to mention you in that video. I think that this is a critical piece of information.
Okay, Colin, I have I've DM'd you in X. I've sent you my email address.
Okay.
And then that way we can share stuff a little bit easier than having to go through. So you've got my email address. Please don't share that with people. You probably
No,
won't, but,
absolutely not.
and then the other thing is Ty, yeah. So happy, send me a DM and we can talk on there, or we can talk through emails or video calls or whatever. But yeah, no, it's and I appreciate the work you guys have done. I've got maybe 1,000 followers or something like that, so my voice don't get out. So I'm really appreciative of the fact that you guys were happy to talk to me and look at the evidence. And gentlemen, I believe we can save a young man's life, and we have to. That is our duty under Christ. We have to.
I agree. My
100%
channel, my
100%.
channel is called Project Constitution for a reason. The Constitution matters, and the fact that whether he was guilty or not, the fact that he is not getting his due process rights, he's not. They're screwing him in the courts. They're trying to railroad him, and they want to execute him live on national TV and stuff. And it's wrong. It's all wrong, and he's not the guy, and we can prove it.
Absolutely, you're 100% right.
With this evidence, if we can get it to Candace and she can get it out, especially once we've done our final full forensic report, we need to actually put pressure on the government to drop the case against Tyler Robinson. They have to, because if they put him in a court system, the judge. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the documentary called Making a Murderer of Stephen Avery, where they framed him. They framed him. Watch that documentary, Making a Murderer. It is horrendous. They framed him. They fabricated evidence, and they locked him up. That young man is still, he's in his 50s now. He's been in prison for 30 years. It took 20 years to actually get his appeal through. And then the moment he got out, they framed him again and put him back into prison. These people are evil. They are evil.
Yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely evil.
I will do whatever I can.
I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but I have there's about 12 people I'm working with. We have a Charlie Kirk investigative committee, and we are digging deep into the into everybody behind the scenes and how they're all connected, following the money trail and all that stuff. So we're going to get to it. And like you said, the judges in that part, the prosecutors in that part, they're all tied together, man. There's a lot of pieces. So I don't want him to get anywhere near that, because he is 100% going to get railroaded if he's thrown in it.
We share the same thing, Gideon. We share exactly the same thing. And I said exactly that in my video over and over and over again, that I hope that my work in Charlie Kirk, Operation 322, can literally get Tyler Robinson out of jail, send that young man home. Now, I don't know the amount of involvement he had, but I believe he was a pure patsy. I believe he was coerced. I don't think he had the mental ability to do something like this. And I think that he's just being played in front of our eyes because he may be a little bit more mentally weak than most people. And I don't think he should lose his life based off of not being as mentally strong and being able to fight a system that's hell-bent on convincing the world that he's the guy. So my work says that over and over. The reason why I proved where the BA sniper location was is because I knew for a fact you cannot bend an infrared beam and make Tyler Robinson guilty. You just can't do that. It makes no sense to me. So thank you, Gideon, for your work verifying that even further and bringing even more clarity. We need to get this to, if the FBI and the federal government and any three-letter agencies in law enforcement are on the side of truth and justice, they need to look at all evidence. Evidence, and this is credible evidence. So thanks again, Gideon. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. You guys take care.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, man.
You as well. Colin, be in touch. Cheers, buddy. Be in touch, and we'll bolt this case, and then it's up to you guys to just do what needs to be done. I actually don't have a dog in this fight. I'm in a different country, but my Christian values is just what's said to me. I have the knowledge and the understanding of the physics to help and contribute. It would be morally wrong if I do nothing. So that's why I'm doing it. But yeah, it's I'm not an American, and therefore I don't have the clout, the influence, but I can give you guys the tools that you need.
Well, I certainly appreciate it. You're a great resource, and your knowledge is invaluable to what we're doing here. So I definitely appreciate it. And I'm talking. I have a back channel connection to Candace Owens, so I'll make sure she gets this as well.
Okay,
and
awesome.
we will pressure. We are going to pressure the FBI to do the right thing, or not the FBI. I don't think he's charged federally, but we're going to pressure the state to drop the charges because he's not the right guy.
The charges has to be dropped, and we can only do that, if we have the final forensic, full, conclusive evidence, and that is undeniable. So we're not proving who shot Charlie Kirk. We just prove that Charlie Kirk could not have been shot by somebody from the Losi building. And if they claim that that's Tyler Robinson, he could not have been the shooter. I don't care if he had a machine gun on him.
Nope.
He did not take that shot, period.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I've got to
I think
going.
that's a good place to end it. If you come anything else, let me know. And I'm certainly interested in hearing your when you get done the sound analysis for the whole thing to find out if there's any more shots or not. Because I have proof that there's shots, but like you said, they're circumstantial. The sound analysis won't lie, so we can back it up with that. Then that will also be very helpful as well. But the main, like you said, the main part is proving that there's no way that there's no way Tyler took the shot from the Losi building. And matter of fact, there's nowhere anybody took the shot from the Losi building. So
that's correct. So it doesn't matter if Tyler was on the Losi building. It doesn't matter. Even if he was on the Losi building, doesn't matter. Even if he had a gun on the Losi building, doesn't matter. He did not kill Charlie Kirk.
Correct.
So charge him with trespassing or something. You can't
What
charge him
scares
with murder.
I'll tell you what scares me though is the autopsy. They're claiming that the autopsy supposedly there's a bullet stuck in his spine and hit the C1. I know it's all lies, but if they're willing to go to the extent of faking an autopsy, that that's going to be how I mean.
Mate, do you forget what they did in the JFK assassin?
Oh, I know, but I know. I'm just saying it.
They can fake anything. They can make any evidence disappear. That is why the sound analysis evidence that we have, they could not make disappear. They cannot actually. It's solid, man. It's completely solid.
I agree. I think we can prove with that. We can if they do come out with a bullshit autopsy. Because right now it hasn't been released, it's just rumor. But if they do come out with a bullshit autopsy, I think the sound analysis would prove that that's a complete lie. Plus all the other circumstantial evidence we have.
Yeah. So Utah, I don't know if you're aware of this. Utah State just earlier this year changed the law so that autopsy reports are not allowed to be released publicly.
Yep, I just came across that. I actually posted that yesterday. I just came across that and posted it yesterday, and I think that's real convenient that they did that right before Charlie got shot. That's real convenient.
Yeah,
and by the way, Governor Cox right now is also trying to ram through another bill to censor if there's a homicide investigation, he wants to give the state the right to pull down anybody's social media post. So nobody can post about open homicide investigations. So I just brought that to light as well today too.
Man, they're just fucking evil. I've got no other word. But all of that is coincidental. It's this. Let's just prove that. Let's just save a young man's life, man. That's all I want to do. And then
that's the goal.
Whoever is then guilty, that's a different chapter. That's a different scene to be resolved.
You better believe I'm going to find them too. But at the moment, the main part is definitely clearing Tyler and proving that's the main focus first.
That's correct. Okay, Colin, I'm going.
All right. Nice talking to you. Thank you very much. And I'll send you a copy of this. That way you can post it or use it for your purposes, whatever you want to do.
Absolutely. So that's why I gave you my email address. So you can send it, so you can send it there, and just let me know what either the subject is and so on, just in case it ends up in my spam folder, so I can just make sure, or just give me a DM if you've sent me an email.
Will do.
Okay, brother. Have a nice day.
You too. Nice talking to you.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining me today. That was our show today. Great analysis from Gideon there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Talk to you guys later. God bless.